I'm Rhod Gilbert, stand-up comedian. People tell me I've got the toughest job in town, but I'm sure I'd find other things far more difficult. So I'm ditching my regular job and trying something completely different. This is my work experience. And this week, I'm a miner. The closest I've come to manual work is burying my dead hamster with a spoon. But just for a laugh, I headed for the nearest coal mine I could find. Fran is a vast open-cast coal mine near Merthyr Tydfil. For the next few days, I'd be pretending to help Jason Davis and his team dig the biggest hole in the UK. I felt as out of place as Bungle in a crack den as we drove round his post-apocalyptic workplace.
Looking out the windows out the sides now, this place is vast.
It's about 1,000 acres, the site is.
How big is 1,000 acres? I can't picture that.
Well, it's 1 acre bigger than 999.
Very helpful, thanks.
Bloody hell. You're right, it is 1 acre bigger than 999. Bang on.
The mine was full of specialised monster trucks, and it wasn't obvious how I could help. Maybe they'd give me a dustpan and brush.
Just so you know, what we're going to be doing is getting you to drive one of those trucks you can see pulling off the distance. That's a Caterpillar 777 dump truck, which has got a payload of 100 tonnes.
I was going to ask what 100 tonnes looks like, but I know what your answer's going to be. One more than 99.
Oh, truck it. How the hell was I going to drive a Caterpillar 777 dump truck with a payload of 100 tonnes? Jason wasn't exactly reassuring.
If you wanted to purchase one, you wouldn't get much change out of £1 million.
You're lucky I don't want to purchase one.
We're hoping you don't break one.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Thankfully, Jason wasn't just going to let me loose in his overpriced Tonka toy and took me to a classroom 1 chair smaller than another classroom he'd once sat in. But the news didn't get any better.
You will be assessed tomorrow.
Tomorrow. God, so I've got a picture of it now.
You've got a picture of it
now.
now.
My test is tomorrow,
and
yeah?
your test is tomorrow. So
Right.
We'll have to see how you go. You will be under instruction at all times.
To pass the test, I'd need to safely manoeuvre the £1 million mobile mansion, have giant digger things drop 100 tonnes of stuff on the back, and then drop it all off in a nice, neat pile.
You can drive an automatic, I believe.
I can drive an automatic car.
It's similar, just on a far bigger scale.
Yeah, it's the same, just with 100 tonnes of shit on the back.
If you want to call it shit, we prefer to call it overburden. But
Overburden, yeah.
Potato, potato.
Yeah, exactly.
Sensing I'd just done a massive overburden in my pants, Jason knew just how to calm my nerves and dug out some reassuring holiday snaps.
Dump truck in flames, not common, but it does happen.
It was becoming increasingly obvious that when you're a miner, minor mistakes can drop you in major shit. Sorry, overbirdy stuff.
Fortunately, the accidents are few and far between, but, you know, the consequences can be quite severe.
Oh, Arthur Scargill's dusty nutsack. And seeing the truck up close didn't help. Like online dating, it was far less attractive in the flesh. Driving instructor Jason Gummer introduced us.
It's effing massive. It's about the size of a 3-bedroom house.
Oh, I'd say a 2-bedroom terrace with a little bit of an extension on the back.
Yeah. So by tomorrow, I'm going to be driving one of these things. You're confident?
I hope so.
I was going to have to work harder than Lord Sugar's face cream, so Jason drove us up to a quiet area to get started. Because with my test the very next day, there wasn't a moment to lose.
But they're quite slow. Got it.
So this is it, my first little voyage. I can't even get the seatbelt on.
Just retract it again.
This is ridiculous. Yes, do you have to do this in your test?
With 10 minutes lost that I couldn't afford to lose, now there was less time than the no time I'd had to lose in the first place.
Is that okay? Yeah, I tell you, it'd be a good idea if you took your coat off, actually.
Would it?
I think so.
You've got to get started, Jason. I got my test in a few hours.
With another 5 minutes I didn't have gone, now I had 15 minutes less time than the no time I'd had to lose before the last bit. But secretly, I'd been happy to put off driving this metal monstrosity.
I've never driven anything like this. It's like going upstairs in your house, sitting in your bedroom, looking out, and then just going, right, come on, put your foot down.
Yeah.
Now you go.
Foot on the brake, into drive.
Right, hang on a minute. Mirror, 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 mirror. Signal.
We're safe to go.
Oh, my God.
Give it a bit of acceleration.
Here we go.
Fine.
God, it feels like you're sliding and slipping all over the place, is it?
Yes.
We were slipping and sliding round like a mackerel on a record player, and on this mud rink, I wasn't looking forward to trying to stop this moving mountain.
So when I give you the signal now, hit the brake, and we're going to do a nice emergency stop. Bit more speed, bit more speed, bit more speed, bit more speed. Go on, bit more, bit more, bit more. Give it full throttle. Whoa! Look how far you skidded.
It was the worst emergency stop since the Titanic. If I was to go out into the mine amongst other traffic, there'd be no room for mistakes. I desperately needed more practice, but I'd have to bloody wait. Because Jason got news that the explosives team were about to blow the place up to get at some coal, and the whole mine had to be cleared. The expert team of blasters wanted me to help, but first I'd have to pass Chris's exhaustive background checks.
I need to know one or two things, which the law requires me to do. You haven't been locked up in the last 7 years for any period of time.
I haven't been a member of a terrorist organisation in the last 5 years.
Okay. I'll probably ask you to sign just to confirm all those
Yeah, I'll
details,
sign that,
okay? When I introduce you to Robert, stick to him like glue.
I will, I promise.
And don't do anything else
I promise.
other than what he tells
I will,
you
I
to.
promise. I'll do exactly what Robert says.
Okay.
Where do I sign to say I'll just do what Robert says?
If I'd been worried about the truck, this was worse, because the closest I've come to blowing up a rock layer is cracking the caramelised sugar top on a creme brulee.
Is it normal to be quite tense at this point?
You get used to it after
Do you? I bet you do, yeah.
Yeah.
As the new kid, I'd heard the explosives team might try to prank me or make me look a fool, so I was on the lookout for any hint of sexual innuendo.
You're going to start filling yours. Move this up and down.
Rob showed me how to fill his hole with explosives, and I could feel myself stiffening with fear. Nervously, I took his floppy length of pipe.
Right. You keep moving that rod up and down.
I'm sure this is...
I tell you it's the handful.
Is this really what you normally do, or is this all a wind-up? How's that, lads? All right?
Done that before, Rob's enjoying that. Done that before.
As Rob filled his hole with explosives, it was my job to move his rod up and down, but the guys had warned me that if I did it too hard, it might go off in my face.
We'll put this in now. Primer's gone in. Now this is an explosive hole.
What? Say that again.
No, this now is a live hole now.
The primer's gone in,
Primer's gone in now.
so this is a live hole.
It's a live hole. This is explosive, anything can happen.
Oh, I don't like this at all.
Rob explained the next step was to pack his shaft with chippings to ensure the hole could contain his explosive blast. One false move and the whole thing could go off prematurely.
So if this accidentally went off now, Rob, what would happen?
We wouldn't have a programme. We'd all be gone. The end credits would come up.
God, I'm shitting myself, yeah?
I was panic working, and Rob said he'd never had his holes filled so quickly. All that remained was to connect them up to make one mega bomb that Rob said could finish us all off.
So to keep my legs bent in case it all went... Does that help? Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, this area is all set. The guys are now soaking that down so it doesn't create too much dust for the local area. And the only thing that's left to do now is to run like shit.
With the area clear, I thought my ordeal was over, when Rob suddenly thrust his knob in my hands and told me to finish the job.
What do I do? Press that and then whack that?
I'll bang it, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, whenever you're ready. Alan,
How did I do? Eh?
you want a job?
Do what?
Do you want a job?
No.
With the diggers clearing up our mess and the site open to vehicles once again, it was time to jump back in with Jason and continue my lesson on the juddering juggernaut.
Into reverse. Go on, straight
I
back.
don't like this at all.
Straight back. Checking your mirrors all the time.
Quite a long way down there.
Probably about 160, 170 metres. Yeah, that's it. There's one on that side. You're fine, you're fine.
I had no idea how I was going to shift 100 tons of bird shit? That over stuff. But by the end of the day, Jason felt I was ready to take the truck into the other traffic.
Right, so we're now going off the training ground.
Yeah, we're going off the training ground
Into the
now.
general traffic.
Yeah,
This changes things a bit. I've been quite enjoying myself with no other traffic around.
you've got 200 tons of metal and rock coming down about 20, 25 mile an hour. So just keep to your side of the road.
Just starting to shit my pants now. If one of those full ones hits us empty, what happens?
We go to the Royal Infirmary in Cardiff.
It's the end of my first day. I'm going to be terrified tomorrow driving that thing. And on top of driving it, you've got to put 100 odd tons in the back, then drive with that, which changes it, and then tip it in the right place. So I think the odds are stacked against me.
Next day, excited wasn't the word. I was like a kid in a spoon museum. My career as an open-cast miner was on the line. Examiner Mike was about to put my whole day's driving tuition to the test.
I'm a bit nervous, if I'm honest.
You're a bit nervous, I'm a bit nervous as well, because I don't know your ability yet.
Well, I'm nervous because of my ability, so you're right to be nervous about my ability.
Well, I don't know what Jace has gone through with you. If there's anything that you do that I deem is unsafe, then obviously there is a good possible chance that you're going to not achieve. We don't say fail in this game anymore. It's a non-achieve.
Non-achieve, is that what you're going to say?
And there's not a lot of chance that you'd get employment if it's a non-achievement.
This was great. I couldn't fail. I could literally drive us off the edge of a cliff, and all I'd do is not achieve.
Gently come off the throttle. Slowly, slow. Too much. Too much.
So far, so non-good. I was clearly on the road to non-success. Next, I had to back up and take 100 tons of overboulder. Overholden? Amanda Holden? You know what I mean. And there was no room for non-perfection.
Start rock round now.
Right.
Look for the bucket in the middle.
Got the bucket.
Got the bucket?
Yeah, got the bucket.
So when you're ready then, into reverse.
I was really nervous and wasn't sure I was ready to take 100 tons of Amanda Holden right on top of me.
Straighten up. Straighten up. Straighten up. Oh, stop. That's it. Parking brake on. Good stuff. Lock back. You're halfway there.
I now had 4 times the truck's own body weight on my back. I was carrying more Amanda Holden than I knew what to do with, and controlling the truck was non-easy.
Okay, we're coming up to the top, so I'm easing off here. God, it's like a bloody ski jump looking down at it now.
Even with, yeah. Just keep it. Sorry, don't worry, don't panic. It's not going anywhere. That's it. Good, off the retarder. Good stuff. Good control.
Many people non-achieve at this.
Well, you get the odd person that sort of slipped through the net, that hasn't had a lot of experience, got no control whatsoever.
What, do you get people worse than me?
Oh, believe you me, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Christ, they must be bad.
Oh, tell me about it.
Oh, my clanking lift shaft. Maybe I wasn't going to non-achieve after all. I was doing okay, transporting Amanda Holden round the mine. All I had to do now was drop my national treasure off.
I start to lock it round now hard, and then we're going to reverse. Go on, keep going. Lock it round. As soon as you see the back wheel touch, tip and lever all the way back. Power it up.
It's the very first time we're doing this. The very first time on my driving test. So go forward a bit, yes, just to empty it out a bit. Forward it a bit just to empty it all out.
You see the material stop. Keep going.
Yeah.
I'd done it. Twatted the test into the middle of next week. But would Mike agree or non-agree? If Mike thought I'd non-achieved after that, I'd eat my non-soft hat.
Wow. On a first-time basis, you didn't do too bad. Realistically, it's going to take at least a week before you'd be let loose on your own.
So I'm a non-achievement.
Big non-achievement.
Big non-achievement.
Yeah, you wouldn't get a start.
Hang on a minute now. The old achievement and non-achievement is so that you let people down gently and it's all PC and it's diplomatic.
And that is
saying big non-achievement doesn't help at all. I'm a bit disappointed. The whole time I've been here, I've been thinking, thank God, this isn't the kind of mining where you go down underground hundreds of feet, working in stinking, dangerous, hot conditions. At least I haven't had to do that.
Oh, you great big hairy miner's arse. Bowlby, North Yorkshire. I'd be working a shift in the UK's deepest bloody mine. My new boss, Peter Jones, would drag me kicking and screaming to his underground office. Peter could see I'm as weak as a hamster's handshake, so to work at the face of the mine, I'd need a medical.
We need to know that you're capable of working in a very, very warm environment.
We've only had a holiday to that environment.
Have you?
So what are you mining here?
We're mining for potash.
Potash?
Potash. We convert the ore, potash ore, into a fertiliser.
Potash? I've never heard of potash.
Well, you're here to learn now, aren't you?
Potash.
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 Yeah.
I get claustrophobic opening a tin of sardines, and as an ex-smoker, I got lungs like a pensioner's plums. With a bit of luck, I'd be on my way home before you could say reduced lung capacity.
LLN. That's the lower limits of normality.
Unfortunately, my shriveled lunglets wheezed through the medical. I was going to be a miner. Next thing I knew, I was off for a safety briefing with veteran miner Ken.
Big breath in.
Ken had spent more time underground than Tutankhamun, and as he ran through the mine's safety procedures, if I was going to stay alive, it was vital I hang on his every word.
So we've got places underground to go to be safe. We call them safe haven. Stops gas from coming in. If the compressor fails, then we've got these hoods. There is 2 banks of table with 15 hoods on each.
Didn't hear a word of that.
But I wasn't that worried. I mean, if things went badly wrong, there'd be rescue teams and whatnot. It's not like I'd have to rescue myself or anything.
This rod is a self-rescuer. It's on your belt. It's
A self-rescuer?
Yes. Self-rescuers protect you against carbon monoxide, which doesn't take a lot of parts per million to make you die. You have got to make sure you look after this piece of kit. It is there to save your life. Okay?
Shimmering hard hats. If there was any gas down the mine that wasn't my own, I'd have to come to my own rescue. I was getting increasingly worried. Call me superficial, but I've always liked the Earth's surface.
What is it like down the mine?
It can be very challenging. There is a lot of potential hazards underground, but we have a lot of control measures to control them hazards. Safety comes before anything else. But you do know there's no toilets down there.
No, I didn't know that.
So don't take a curry.
So where do you...
Where do you go? Wherever you like.
Oh, God. If I was going to work down the world's biggest open-plan toilet, I had to learn to use this gas mask. Ken wasn't exactly selling this job to me, but there had to be some positives.
What's the rewarded aspect of the job?
The rewarding coming out at the end of the shift.
It's a rewarding job. What's the reward coming out at the end?
Yeah.
So far, what they're telling me isn't very appealing. Dirty, physically hard, demanding, challenging work. Miles underground, surrounded by shitting miners.
I was as ready to do hard physical labour down a mine as a retired beautician who's just run a bath. But it was time for my final bits of kit, so I headed down to the lamp room with Peter.
No going back now, Rod. This is it.
Unfortunately.
The mine's age-old safety system was a poignant reminder of the realities of working underground.
You've got 2 tallies, triangular one and a brass one. We hand that one to the banksman before we go down, so he knows we're underground. And then when we come back up again, we hand that one to the banksman again, so he knows that we're back on the surface. At the end of the shift, Rod, if there's only that left on the tally board, and that one hasn't come up, that means you haven't come up with it.
If at the end of the programme there's just that one left for me, I'll be pissed off. I'll be dead and pissed off.
Well,
in that
me and you both, because I'll be with you.
Like Peter Stringfellow auditioning for a suffragettes docudrama, I was totally the wrong person for this.
We're going to descend about 1,100 metres into the earth.
1,100 metres.
1,100 metres.
Straight down.
Once you're down there, we're going to be going out probably about 8.5 kilometres out to sea. If we stand...
When did it become normal for people to go to work, to go a kilometre underground and then go 8 kilometres out under the sea?
We've been doing it for decades.
Sounds shit. It's quite weird standing there at the pit head, getting your lamp and get carbon monoxide gas mask thing and knowing you're going to go down a mine. It's a strange feeling.
But my lamp was on and my hat was hard. It was time to go. As we headed towards the cage, my nerves began to affect me in strange ways.
Like a goldfish.
My ears keep popping. Is that normal?
That's normal, absolutely normal. This is an airlock. We actually push air down the man shaft, right the way around the mine, so we can breathe properly.
Okay.
As simple as that.
Fortunately, to reassure nervous first-timers like me, the airlocks were tastefully decorated with motivational posters.
Cheerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cheerful.
Hell yeah.
I get vertigo reading Wuthering Heights, but at least the commute was going to be easy. Step into the devil's dirt box and let gravity do the rest.
I can see now the light is starting to disappear. We're starting to drop down below the Earth's surface.
As the clanking metal box began lowering towards Australia, we picked up speed.
Our ears are starting to pop now. I think at the top of Mount Snowdon, the highest mountain in Wales, we're going down under the ground further than that.
Every second we got 20 feet closer to the Earth's core, and my stomach got closer to my mouth, until we arrived at the eerie underground world known as Pit Bottom.
This is the original part of the mine, probably 40 years old.
It's like a whole street network down here. How safe do you feel down here?
It's just second nature. You don't think about it. You just get on with it.
We've basically got a transit van here. It's so weird, this. Peter, I know this is totally normal to you. How'd you get that thing down here in the first place?
Not easy. Not easy.
Not easy, no.
Take all the fluids out of the engine, swing it upside down from the back, and lower it down the shaft very slowly.
So you just drop it in vertical?
Yeah.
To get to the potash, we'd take a surreal drive in tunnels carved through miles of rock salt. Like David Beckham looking at a paperclip. My brain was in overload.
Right, here we go. We're going from 1,100 metres at the bottom of the shaft, and where we're going to, that's at about 850 metres. So we're actually rising up.
Does that mean it'll get cooler?
No, no.
No sat-nav down here, is there?
No sat-nav whatsoever.
How do you know your way round?
Practice.
I'd be putting a ball of wool down, mate.
Well, I've got a ball of string in the back if you want one.
Yeah, let's do it to be safe. It's just the dust.
Yeah, it's a mine.
Our post-nuclear road trip took us further and further and hotter into this apocalyptic Hoover bag.
God, it's hot.
It's going to get hotter.
The mine was a terrifying game of Pac-Man. 30 minutes further into this dust-choked labyrinth, the smooth salt tunnels gave way to something far more worrying.
Are we in potash now?
We're in potash now, yeah. Potash isn't as stable as salt is.
What are these things here?
Pit props. The props.
Just look like wood laid in a Jenga pattern.
Jenga's there to support the roof.
What the hell? That's not holding the roof up.
Yeah.
Is that the best idea? Jenga's built to fall down, yeah?
Yeah. It's the safest houses.
The walls look less stable, everything looks more bouldery, more rubbly. In my head, that says it's much more dangerous.
It's a hazardous environment.
What's the difference between a dangerous environment and a hazardous environment?
Just posh a word.
It was all too easy to imagine this whole place collapsing. And 9 kilometres out under the sea, there was no quick way back.
What's this ahead, Peter? I can see men. Men, human beings, other life.
We're heading towards our meeting station. This is where you'd sit and discuss the day's work.
Can I just point out, before we start the working day, I am absolutely exhausted.
It had taken us 40 minutes, but we were finally clocking in the most surreal workplace I've ever seen. Semi-naked production manager Carl explained that bolting the roof up to keep it roof-like was a non-stop job. So when I saw some stupid mine twat hacking away the walls, I almost lost it.
OK, Rod, if you watch Mark scaling, he's getting the sidewall down so it doesn't fall on anyone.
So this is loose stuff that could fall?
Correct.
So you're making it fall?
Correct. This is quite dangerous stuff, and I'd like you to try it.
All right, let's give it a go.
Prizing loose bits off and jumping out the way, I felt like Simon Cowell's makeup artist. This was one of the toughest jobs on the shift, and I was already struggling. Luckily, Carl was on hand with kind words of encouragement.
He's not very good, is he?
I must have been a miner for 10 minutes and I got a blister. This is a lot harder than it looks. Plus, once you do start to see a big crack appear, you're thinking, shit, is this supposed to come down?
That lump will weigh about a quarter of a ton.
So if that had come down on you, would it?
It wouldn't do you any good.
I'd kill you.
That'd kill you. That'd be my best case.
Carl and me had different ideas about best-case scenarios. I'd also noticed he'd sorted his friends out with power tools and was giving me all the crappy manual work.
OK, there's the shovel. So I want you to do a better job than you did scaling.
Yeah, I wasn't very good.
You weren't.
I was struggling in the 40-degree heat, but Carl kept pushing me like a man trying to get a shopping trolley across the Sahara.
Come on, Rod. Keep going. Bigger shovel, better technique. Stick the shovel in deeper and get more on the shovel.
Oh. You're all just standing around chatting back there, Carl.
Faster! Shovel, faster!
It is so hot.
Why have you stopped? Come on, dig.
In these life-sapping conditions, even blinking was blinking hard work, and Carl was deliberately making my life blinking hell. He was a cross between the village people and Darth Vader.
Faster! Hurry up! Have you got that the right way around?
How do you mean?
Is it the right way around, yes or no?
Well, I don't know. You tell me, yes or no.
Well, you have a guess.
No?
It's right.
What? It is right?
It is right.
Yes.
Well done.
What's all the fuss about then if I did it right in the first place?
Started asking, that's all.
Carl was a fascist. He put the coal into Colditz, the mine into Mein Kampf, and the dick into Dictator. He was a right coaly mine dick. Even in my uniform, I was no more a miner than Jeremy Corbyn in adult nappies as a sumo wrestler. And Coley Mine Dick was taking full advantage. He was determined to kill me before I'd even had lunch.
How's the day gone? Has Carl been all right with you? He hasn't pushed you too hard, has he?
Just leave me alone.
Leave you alone?
All of you, just leave me alone.
I was just about surviving Coley Mine Dick's initiation ceremony, doing all the back-breaking work that didn't need doing. And when he showed me his favourite toy, I assumed he was going to make me wax and polish it.
Look at that thing. That is a serious bit of kit.
This is a heli miner. It's awesome. Even now, after 31 years, I think it's awesome.
It is awesome in the proper sense of the word.
It's 120 tonnes, 30.5 metres long, 4 metres wide.
It's a beast.
So do you want to have a go then?
Well, you're going to let me have a go at that?
I'm going to let you have a go at that.
Seriously? So far, I have massively non-achieved on every machine I've touched. Whether it's been in Merthyr Tydfil or here. It's the potentially most dangerous one of the lot.
This modern-day Minosaurus Rex would devour anything in its path. One false move and I was sure I'd bring the whole depressing place down on us.
There's no man sits on it. You drive it from this control panel.
Oh, there's no driver in there?
No driver. It's a remote control
You're the
machine.
driver?
This remote control monster was unlike anything I'd ever operated. If I messed up with Carl's heli miner, I'd pull my pants so hard I'd hit my head on the ceiling.
If I have a major non-achievement with this, what happens?
You can't do too much damage with this.
It's funny you should say that. It looks quite damaging.
Operator Steve showed me how to make this mole of mass destruction move, and equally importantly, how to make it stop.
Press that button there.
Which one?
That one.
Was that a test, was it?
Yeah,
was that just a test?
Yeah.
I had my doubts, but Coley Mine Dick felt I was ready to operate this prehistoric mine muncher.
That's fine. Right, we're going forwards.
I was doing the biz in high vis and non-achieving to kill us all.
It's going to be my first non-achievement. Conveyor belt's working, it's mining, stuff's coming back by the ton load. That wasn't a non-achievement.
Good in it.
Tell me that wasn't a non-achievement.
I'll give you 5 out of 10.
I'm happy with that.
It was the end of my shift and Coley Mine Dick gave me his verdict.
I've got to be honest, I don't think you've got a job as a miner.
I've got to be honest, I wouldn't even apply.
Wouldn't you?
No. I'm an above ground person, what can I say?
Well, you've proved that today. You have actually proved that today.
They say at the centre of the earth, the pressure's so great you'd be squeezed into a ball smaller than a marble. I'd only been 1 kilometre of the way there, but I'd never felt smaller. Humbled by Carl, Peter, and all the men and women who do this every day. It's no surprise the camaraderie here is so strong, forged as it is in the world's biggest, hottest, dustiest open-plan toilet.
Look at this. I want to drink the sky. I want to eat the grass. And I want to shove the sun at my ass. Oh my God, that is toil. Hats off to him. Glasses off to him. But I'm out of here.
And you can catch up on the whole series on BBC iPlayer. Now, if you fancy yourself as a bit of a barroom rugby expert, why not put yourself to the test? Join Jonathan Davis and a host of special guests for a Six Nations quiz tomorrow night at 9.